Hello, ELA students. Welcome to this lesson on co-creating our course and explaining to families, kind of bringing them in on what we're doing and how we're doing it. My hope with this is that by working through this together with you guys, that not only will you have a better idea of like what's all going on in the course and how the course structures work, but also that we'll be able to explain it to families, and that you'll be able to help give me some feedback and guidance on ideas that you have to make the course better. So let me show you how that's going to work. We already did the Padlet here, where you kind of gathered ideas from everybody's entry task. So we'll be able to come back to that when you're working in a group. I also wanted to show you this, which is just kind of an image that I made about the course structures. So I'm going to zoom in on each one and talk for a second. You'll have access to this image if you have ideas for any of these course structures. What I want you to do is to add a comment to these by pressing the letter C and then clicking on it. And that way I'll be able to see the comment that you made, and your classmates will as well. Okay, so let's start off. ELA course structures. First of all, we've got reading, writing, discussion, and assessment. This last one down here, vocab, is the only one that we haven't introduced yet. So all the rest of these we've done a little bit with. Maybe it was kind of like we opened it up once and haven't touched it again. But all of these course structures exist. We just need to start, using them more and more. Vocab we haven't gotten to yet. Okay, so let's take a closer look at reading. So the quarter 1 graphic novels are here. The 8th graders are reading this one, 9th and 10th. And then you've got the pen and paper notebook. The idea being that as you're reading these books, you're taking notes in your pen and paper notebook. Those notes will then be with you when you're doing some of these other things like writing, or when you're getting ready for a discussion, or when you're taking an assessment. So these paper and pencil notes are then going to help you in these other areas. Okay, the writing section is in Google Classroom. We have a writing journal. It's a space where you can write freely without having to turn it in, without me giving you feedback on every single thing you write. It's an open space. You will turn it in, but you won't turn all of it in. Maybe every week or two, I'll ask you to choose something in there to then turn in on Canvas, and I'll give you targeted feedback on that. Maybe I'm looking specifically at sentence structure, or maybe I'm looking specifically at how you organize, a paragraph, and so I'll give you specific feedback. But this is a space where you can then just have a little bit of freedom to try out different writing styles, and then choose what you get feedback on. So then you'll be able to choose what you then get feedback. Let's see, which we do next. Discussions are on Friday, and so these will happen most every Friday. Of course, this Friday I'll be out of town, and so you guys will be doing an asynchronous flip video discussion. But normally, we'll have Friday Socratic seminars. You guys might remember from last Friday, we have this Fig Jam board where we can kind of moderate who's speaking next and give each other, emojis and props and comments when you like what they're saying, or to give encouragement. It is also connected to the speaking and listening standard, and so every couple weeks there will be a score in the grade book on your speaking and listening grade. So that then brings us to assessments over here. So assessments, you'll find your assessments in Canvas. We've done one so far. It was a pre-assessment, which we did last week. You'll find your feedback in Canvas kind of over here on the right-hand side. Let me zoom in a little bit on that one. On the home page, you've got a to-do list, and then just below the to-do list, it'll say recent feedback. And so that's where you'll see my comments and the score that you got. And then grades will be in student view. And so this is important to be able to share with families, that when they open up student view, you go to the grade book, and then you want to make sure you're in standards view. That should now be automatic. It wasn't last year, but it should take you automatically to standards view. And then you'll see all the different standards for the course. And then you want to click expand to then see the assessments that are underneath that standard. And so usually what you'll see is the first time you took an assessment, you got kind of a lower score. The second time you took it, you probably got a slightly higher score. And so that's kind of how that works. Okay. The last one is the one we haven't done yet, is the vocab CCD. I'm thinking we might get to it tomorrow. What I want is to have a space for you where you can get to know words. A lot of people in their writing survey said that spelling was a challenge or that just knowing the right words to use was a challenge. And so, of course, obviously with the reading we're doing, we're coming across a lot of new words. So I want to make sure that you have a space to then be able to keep track of those words, make sense of them, get good at them. So that's what the vocab CCD will be. We're not going to worry about that one too much. It's not going to be a part of our lesson today. These 4 sections are, and so you're going to be working in a small group to explain to families, what do you think they need to know about each of these things?